Welcome to Kalimahara with me, George Galloway, on Al Mayadeen Television, coming to you from London, but discussing the coronavirus, which seems to be cascading all over the world. Amongst other things, we'll be asking, is this virus man-made? We'll also be asking, if not, what is it? Where is it going? How many people will it take with it? Now, I understand that many people watching this will dismiss out of hand any idea that this virus could be man-made. But actually, that's the conspiracy theory, not the one I'm about to posit now, because the ability to make biological weapons, the ability to wage germ warfare is a well-known fact, not fiction. It is a possibility that this virus was man-made, and it could have been released into the atmosphere by accident or by design. There was a germ warfare laboratory close to the city of Wuhan, which is still regarded as the epicenter of the epidemic. Equally, the fact that countries like Iran appear to have been particularly severely affected raises question marks in some people's minds. You don't need to look in the crystal ball, you can read the book. In the 1950s and 60s, unbelievable though it now sounds, the British Department of Defense and its germ warfare laboratory actually deliberately released germ weapons onto its own population so that they could test the efficacy of those weapons and their transmission and so on. Even as late as the 1960s, when the Beatles were at #1 in the top 20, the London Underground was deliberately poisoned by Porton Down, Britain's biological weapons department, so as they could see how the weapon would be transmitted through the ventilator systems, through the carriages, and cared nothing of the fact that they were making their own citizens sick, ill, and potentially killing them. These are facts, not fiction. So it is not absurd to speculate, to ruminate on whether or not it is a possibility in this case. Certainly the scale of the epidemic, the speed of the transmission of the epidemic, the fact that it is scattering to all corners of the world. Only Antarctica at the time of recording does not have any coronavirus. And the lethality, at least 3 times, maybe 4 times as lethal as the flu, is making people wonder. That's one of the issues, but there are others. If you want my honest opinion, I think the country that will be worst affected is the United States of America, because there are a tremendous number of people come and go from the United States of America. It is a multicultural melting pot, and people go and come back from places which are, at this moment in time, more severely affected. But more importantly than that, the United States doesn't have a health service, and half of the people are poor. And when you get a combination of poor people and poor medical services, you have the possibility of rapid transmission. And if I'm right on my speculation on that, that's very bad news for President Trump, who seems to have staked his presidency on the fact that, like some sublime genius, he has managed to inoculate the American public without the need of vaccination from a virus which is cutting a swathe already through China. There have been thousands of deaths. There's more than 100,000 cases. It's a serious problem. Some people see it as a serious opportunity. I'm not making that up. There are medical people who've been filmed saying, well, at least it will kill all the bed blockers, by which they mean people who are in hospital and can't get out of it because they either are too ill to get out of it, but don't have homes to go back to with families that can help to look after them. Others, I'm not making this up either, think that it's a good thing that people over the age of 80 are somehow culled. Well, it's not good if you're anywhere near the age of 80. It's not good if you love your parents and they're anywhere near the age of 80, or your grandparents for that matter.